Here's a equation for a parabola. It's in vertex form. The vertex is going to be the opposite of this -3, so it's going to be 3, comma, and then this number is the y-coordinate. So 3, 5 is the vertex. That's better. So 3, 5 is over here. And the the a value is positive, so it's like a smiling parabola, and the 1/4 means it's kind of like sort of wide. Now every parabola, including this one, has a focus and a directrix, and I'm going to show you how to find it. You know, it's kind of like maybe the directrix is over here. They're approximately in those locations. Like the directrix is kind of below the vertex if it's a smiling parabola, or above it if it's not, and then the focus is sort of on the opposite side of the vertex. But where is it exactly? Well, there are a couple of ways to do this, but the easiest way is to realize that it all has to do with the variable that I call p. P is the distance from the vertex to the focus. It's also the distance, from the vertex to the focus. It's also from the vertex to the directrix. So, yesterday we had a formula. A is 1 over 4p. But if you were to cross multiply, you would be able to also get this relationship. P is also 1 over 4a. Now a is 1/4. So p is 1 over 4 times 1/4, which is 1 over 1, which is 1. So p is 1, and then all you have to do to get the focus is add 1 to the x-coordinate of the vertex. So the vertex was 3, 5, so this is 3, comma, 5 plus 1, which is 3, comma, 6. That's the focus. The directrix is on the other side. It's y equals, in this case, 5 minus p, which is 5 minus 1, or y equals 4. That's the easiest way, especially if it's given if the equation for the parabola is given in vertex form. Here, the equation is given in standard form. Now, this parabola also has a vertex, and if we can figure out what p is, it's going to be above the vertex by that amount, and the directrix, the focus is going to be p above the vertex, and the directrix is going to be p below the vertex. And we can actually work out that value of p. P is 1 over 4a. A is 1 in this case, so p is 1/4. Now, as far as the vertex goes, we can find the vertex of a parabola that's in this form by doing x equals -b over 2a, which in this case is -6 over 2 times 1, which is 3. So this x-coordinate is 3. If you plug x in, 3 in, that is, you get -1. So 3, -1 is the vertex. The focus is going to be 1/4 above it. So the focus is going to be 3, comma, -1 plus 1/4. I like to write it that way. And then 3, comma, -3/4. That's the focus. And the directrix is going to be down here. It's going to be at y equals, not -1, but -1 minus 1/4, or y equals -5 over 4. If a happens to be negative, p is still 1 over 4a, which is p is 1 over 4 times -1/2. So p is actually 1 over -2, or -1/2. This parabola is going to be some kind of upside down, sort of frowning parabola. So the focus is going to be 1/2 below the vertex, and the directrix is going to be 1/2 above it. So just keep that in mind. I mean, you could think of it as I'm always adding to the vertex, the y-coordinate of the vertex, to get the focus, and when when we're adding p to it, and if p is negative, we're subtracting from it. If you have a little diagram, though, it'll be pretty clear whether you have to add or subtract the half to get to that point. The vertex, the x-coordinate of the vertex, is negative b, negative 6, over 2a, which is negative 6 over negative 1, which is 6. So 6 is the x-coordinate, and the y-coordinate, if you put 6 in for x, you get 36, plus 6 times 6 plus 1, 6 times 6 plus 1. So we have negative 18, it's 19. So this thing's actually way up here. So 619 is the vertex. If you go p, which is 1/2 below that vertex is going to be still 6, but it's going to be 18.5. And the directrix is going to be above it now, above the vertex. So it's going to be y equals 19.5.